You are a liar. Like, you stop lying. And on top of that, anybody that says that will never have that opportunity anyway. So like, shush. But like, I saw people hating on that. It's just weird to me. I'm like, why would you even? But like, that's great. Competition for any platform is great. And it just seems like there's a lot of people that will just hate on something either way, right? They're gonna find some way to hate on you, right? So, but the people that are part of your community will follow you either way. It doesn't matter if you're on Kick, YouTube, like, they're gonna follow you either way. So if there's any creators that are like, I'm kind of scared to do it, your loyal people, your loyal community, they're gonna follow you.
Hello, my name is Minges and welcome to Unfiltered Conversations with Creators. In this episode, we're rejoined by JoeWo for his second appearance on the Unfiltered Podcast. In the first episode, we covered his journey from a small content creator to establishing his name as Call of Duty's movement king. That will be linked down below. In this episode though, we're going to talk about some more current events, including how he's been able to make entertaining content in a declining Warzone space, some pitfalls that creators need to avoid, as well as a debate of multi-platform streaming and things like Kick versus Twitch. If you'd like to become part of the conversation, please consider joining the Patreon linked down below. There you'll find bonus segments from each episode, as well as give you the opportunity to put forward your questions to the next guests appearing on Unfiltered Conversations with Creators. Dude, I noticed you posted this picture. Of you,
I have a story for this, bro.
We're gonna, it's gonna be on screen, so you know people will see what we're talking about.
So the funny thing is, the most hilarious part about this is I had family members and friends that were like, yo, congratulations, man.
The Patreon will be a huge help in getting on more creators to the podcast, as well as ensuring the quality of its production moving forward. As always, if you enjoy the conversation, please leave a like, comment down below your favorite segment, and subscribe for more Conversations with Creators. Mr. JoeWo, welcome to the Unfiltered Podcast Part 2. Welcome. How are we? What are we up to?
Brother, I'm glad to be back, bro. Glad to be back. The Part 2 has been waiting for way too long, so it's always good to have a convo with the GOAT, bro. So I'm glad to be back, man.
For anyone who has missed it, we did do a Part 1. We covered basically your come-up story and your journey, how you made a name for yourself in the space. I think the last time we spoke was maybe in March, and I feel like a lot of stuff has changed since then.
100%.
A lot of the stuff we spoke about back then will apply to this conversation here. But let's get started with basically how your job has gone streaming a game that basically did not improve.
Where's the food question?
No food question. We did a food question.
There's no hot take today? Okay, all good.
No, I've had enough of your hot takes, to be honest.
What? No way, there's no hot take start. That's crazy.
All right, give me your hottest take right now.
The most overrated, it kind of just passed. The most overrated day of all time is Halloween, bro. Halloween is mid. Dire.
I can't comment on that because Halloween is not really it's not a thing here, but it's kind of growing. It's kind of growing, but no one knows what Halloween is. So it's just basically people that want to go trick-or-treating. That's all it is.
But like now, okay, random side note tangent. It's just so different now. Like me, a long time ago, people had like trunk or treats and like trick or treats and it was like an exciting thing for kids. Now, I feel like kids and parents just don't do it now. And it's just like dying off, which is kind of sad. Like, I don't know, like way back in the day, we would go trick-or-treating and stuff, and like that was like the coolest day ever. And like you got candy, and I feel like nowadays it's just not a thing anymore. I don't know.
Is it a thing there where you still knock on the doors? Because apparently now it's just like you leave.
That's what we did.
You leave the candy out the front, like in a bucket, and you just come and take it. Yeah.
That's what I've seen like all over like Twitter and TikTok. But way back in the day, we would go up to somebody's door, knock on the door, and like you like have to talk to him, be like, hey, like trick or treat, like. But now it's just different. Like I don't know. Like I guess times are changing.
Yeah. The costume's got to be on point. People make comments like you can't go dressed up in like nothing. But did you see the videos of like these parents going to this bucket and like stealing all the chocolate out of the?
Yes,
that's crazy.
Criminal behavior. I'm not gonna lie. Locked them up.
All right, the other criminal behavior is the way Call of Duty has gone this year because it has been chalked. We're not going to pull any punches. Not going to talk about the game in particular in detail, but basically as you're living, as your basic bread and butter, how has it been for you, we spoke about it in March that, you know, hopefully things get better and it's frustrating, but we'll deal with it. What's the last couple of months been like for you as a creator dealing with this kind of game as your income?
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. And I think that it's been a good thing and a bad thing. Obviously, the bad thing is views are down, subs are down, everybody's numbers are down, right? On the bright side, though, I think it's been great because it's just changed, because now I can see that trying to play other games like Apex, Fortnite, 2Ks, things like that, vlogging more, doing other things outside of just playing Warzone matters so much, right? Because tying myself to a game, like especially now, is like the last thing I ever want to do. Could I play COD all the time and have much higher subs? And probably. But long term, as we've seen with this last year, how bad the game has been, if you tie your brand and like stream to a game and it dies and just kind of tanks like COD has, that hurts your name so much. But if you try random games or vlogging or just doing other things, I think long term that matters so much.
Yeah, and we spoke about this earlier as well, is you get a chance for the people to get to know you, and that's something you've kind of been putting in place for a long time now. And you have 3 channels now on your YouTube, but I've noticed that more and more on your main channel, you are putting the other games. Like you did some finals, you did Apex, you tried, you know, trying Fortnite and stuff, and all that's going on the main channel now. Was that like less of a concern now because it works?
Yes and no, because like I said, just trying to like slowly feed most of the people that's like, yo, play Warzone only, trying to like slowly feed them a little bit of some vlog content, a little bit of some Apex content. I think that really matters a lot, instead of, again, tying like your whole channel to one game, even if they've been 10 out of 10s, right? But just slowly feeding them that long term, I think can really help. Mind you, I could be wrong, but I think that just like showing them that like I don't just play COD is going to be super key.
Yeah. Was it like an adaptation for you and, you know, your editors and things like that? Or did you like give them free reign? Like, you know, sometimes different games have different styles of how games content's edited. So was that something you were concerned about?
A little bit, yeah, but also because like the game has just been down so bad yeah. And like most of the time it's just like every video is like a ton of comments like Warzone sucks, this game is so boring to watch now. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what, like it can't get any worse, right? The comments can't get any worse about the game, so why not just try other games anyway? Because if the COD gameplay will be a 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, why not try Apex or something? If it's gonna be that anyway, why not try something else? Because most of the comments now are especially like, dude, like, oh my gosh, the game's awful. Like, and it's so hard, especially now, to find like new ways to kind of make the game fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. And you touched on that as well, that it's been sort of down bad numbers for a lot of people the whole year. There has been some people I've spoken to who have had their best years because they've kind of really adapted and put in all this extra work to try and change things. But at the same time, there's just as many people who have been like, it's just like a write-off year almost. It feels like a bit of a waste of time. And some people have even given up.
That's been a thing for, I would say, the last year, right? But the good thing is, and again, knock on wood, hopefully, but it's like, if this last year was the worst year of like a lot of like our favorite games, right? Because Warzone for most people is like their favorite game. And like same thing for me, it has been my favorite game. But if this last year was like the worst year we could have had, like we're almost through it, right? So seeing like how bad it's been and trying for the next year to really learn and grow of like how you can kind of see new content for the new game, I think it's going to be really important, because like I said, with this last year was so bad that with this next year, hopefully it can actually, there's no way it can be as bad as it was. So either way, it's looking up. Like,
look, I hope so. This is going to be, it could be famous last words, just like the whole Warzone is saved comment. That was,
I know
that was a rough time for you personally as well, wasn't it? When you made those comments, like showing some positivity and some hope, and people just like started going at you for that.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. Don't be optimistic about a game. No. But I mean, honestly though, and like this past year has probably been like the biggest growth year just in general, because just seeing how people kind of feed into like Twitter and all that stuff is just so funny to me, because it blows my mind like how many people like live on social media, right? And like, it's so funny going to so many events and stuff. I have never, ever met one single person that's toxic in person, right? So every single person that I always meet, they're amazing people. And I love doing that, right? But I've never met one person that will type the stuff and like the crazy stuff I see all the time on Twitter and comments. I've never had them ever say that in person ever. It's always been amazing people. So now I'm like, dude, at this point, I've heard as many bad things as you could probably hear every single day on every single Twitter, YouTube comments. Like, I see it every single day. Now it just doesn't even faze me now, because I know that those people are just actual internet trolls. Like, they just type to type.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I've seen some of the wild comments. I've actually got some saved to run by you later just to get your reaction to some of them. But in terms of moving towards, you know, you met a lot of people, did some events this year, and you even did a couple of your own thing. You did the basketball thing. Tell us about how you set that up and how you got that going.
So yeah, so that's been kind of in the works for about a year now. Because like I said, with how bad COD was, I was like, I'm trying to do something else outside of gaming, and I've always loved basketball, right? So I was like, how can I have a cool streamed event that's vlogged and stuff that's outside of gaming? And like I said, if COD was amazing this whole year, this would have probably not happened. So it's been super cool to just try things outside of COD and kind of how like that's been. And that's been in planning for about a year now. Yeah. And I was like, I'm trying to host a streamed creator basketball tournament. And mind you, even though I was out of shape and, you know, it was a little rough for me, either way, it was so much fun to plan that whole event and stuff. And then have that streamed was just honestly like a blessing, because I was like, dude, this was a streamed basketball tournament that I couldn't even have imagined like peak Warzone, at all.
Yeah, it was elite too. It looked like, the production value, and everyone, I think the majority of comments were like how good it looked, how, you know, the production value and everything. But how many people were there? Because there was a lot of people like in the background there that you couldn't see from the stream.
Yeah, so there was, I believe, 50 people there. And they honestly killed the production value. Everybody had mics on them, camera setups everywhere. Like, it was insane. They crushed it.
Yeah, dude. And like, even just like the commentators having a lot to say, even getting the other creators in the scene. You know, the cameraman was on the court half the time anyway, but it was just like a lot of fun. And it was, you know, it got a little bit spicy, competitive here and there, but most of the time it was just like everyone having a good time, man. It was really, really good to see.
Welcome to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Palms Casino Resort for the Movement King Classic, presented by Threads.
Team JoeWo. We got JoeWo himself, age 26, height 6'3". And he told me we might see some shots from him. We might see him in the backside of the three-point line with some long-range snipers. Hopefully he can pull that through. If you don't know, he's actually making these shots right now. You're not seeing it from the camera, but they are landing. Nothing but net. It definitely looks clean.
Yes, 100%. And also, later in 5 months, 6 months, a year, who knows, maybe then we could have like that same thing again, or like a full court one, and there's tickets and jersey sales and all that. Like, trying to just branch outside of just gaming, I think, is so important. And it's been like my number one thing for this whole year of like, get out of just being a gamer. I like, that's so key for me.
I mean, even for you personally, you've taken a like, I wouldn't say a step back, but you've sort of reduced the time that you're live in front of the camera the whole day. You know, get outside, live life, you know, go to events, go on, you know, take a day off here and there. How's that been for you, you know, mentally, just the refreshingness of that?
Oh, brother, it has been so nice. One, because I know if there's a day that I don't feel like playing the game, right? Me getting on and just like, they could tell, chat could tell if like I'm not trying to be there, right? And just having that time off and just going, even though it sounds so dumb, it's like the game where they're go touch the grass. It's so true though, bro. Like just doing other things, going to a basketball game, going to the gym, a drive, trying a random food place in Charlotte, like just doing other things and then vlogging it, which is super fun too, has been so much fun because how bad, again, most games have been for the whole year. It's just been great just doing other stuff, because I know in about 7 days when the new game drops, it's gonna be like the super grind again, like streaming 12 hours a day again, grinding, like all that stuff again. So it's like right now is like the perfect time to just do other stuff, and it's been like has helped me night and day.
How much goes into you when you're taking time off, actually switching off, or like do you still get that, brains moving, thinking about things, planning ideas? What's the balance? Is there a balance?
No. I mean, well, okay. For some people, maybe. I would love to find a way to actually switch off. Even for like those like time off, I'm still in Discord, like chatting with people. Like there's never a time that I'm actually like unplugged and not on Twitter or TikTok or Discord. Like I'm still like plugged in, but I'm not streaming. And so it's just like I'm there, but it's just still, that helps me out a lot because it's doing other things outside of just playing the game, right?
How's it been for you going to hang out with some other creators or other people that you know from the scene? Because I know there's a couple that live in Charlotte or around your state. What's it been like being able to connect and go out for dinner and do shoots or whatever you guys are doing behind the scenes?
Yeah, it has been amazing because one, like I said, it's different when you're kind of friends from like Twitter or like stream or like things like that. But when you actually can like have a conversation over food or something else, that makes it like just like so much deeper, right? Of like, they are a human being. It helps out so much because it's, how do I say this? It's hard to find like friends that kind of aren't streamers because it's such a weird conversation to have with some people that don't know anything about streaming, right? Be like, hey, I play video games online for a living. They're like, what the heck is that? So finding like anybody that knows about the space helps out so much, and just doing anything outside of gaming helps me more than they probably know.
What's the comfort been like for you when you go and now do vlogs and stuff? Because initially you're as like, it feels weird going out in public talking with the camera in front of you, but how have you adapted now? It's been a while. You've done a lot of vlogs now. Yeah,
it has changed so much because from the start, right? And like there was so many times I'd be embarrassed to be vlogging, right? But here's the thing, right? You'll never get better at something. Like you have to practice, right? So like me thinking, like I suck at vlogging. Well, no, duh, you suck at vlogging. You've done 3 vlogs. Of course you suck. Nobody is good at something after 3 times, right? Like it's just different. So now, like it just changed because one, the people, even if they're staring at you, right? I am staring like directly at my camera. So I don't even see like random people pointing, or even if they were pointing, they're probably not. But either way, will I ever see those people ever again in my life? Probably not. So why should I even care what those people would even think? And I feel like now it's just gotten where it's just normal.
I think it's
even
normal.
If it's weird.
No, I think
like,
it's more normal.
Even if it's weird. Yeah. But it's like, who cares what the random people could think? Whereas like way before, I was looking around of like who could be like, oh my gosh, like now I'm staring at my camera, so I don't even see them now. It's just super easy.
I feel like even like if you go back like maybe 10 years ago, people walking down FaceTiming a friend on the street would be weird, like speaking with their phone out here and you like see each other. Just walking down the street might be weird, but now it's kind of like normal, man. So it's probably it's almost no different.
Well, here it's just a little bit different because it's like a smaller town, not town, but like clearly it's like a larger city, but it's not a gaming town at all. So like seeing cameras and gaming and stuff, it's still weird for a lot of people compared to like, say you're in Vegas or like Texas or somewhere where it's more normal. Here it's still like kind of weird, if
Was it like
that makes sense.
Businessy, like sort of district?
Oh, yeah.
Or, yeah?
Businessy, a lot of finance, a lot of banks, everything here.
So does that make you feel like a bit more of an outsider, or is it nice to feel like... I mean, do people recognize you if you're walking down the street?
Sometimes, yeah. But it kind of does suck because there's not like a ton of creators here compared to, like I said, Cali or Vegas or somewhere where like you could be doing so much content, vlogging content, podcast, gaming, anything, because there's so many people there. Here it's just a little bit different because there's not a ton of people here.
Fair enough.
Yet.
You gotta sell people the Google that you have, the Google Fiber that you have available around. Let's just get them in there.
Sponsor me, Google, please. But I've been trying, bro. I've been trying to tell Z and stuff. He's like, I don't know, but I will get him out here soon. And the second he's here, he's stuck. I'm taking him out to the most expensive dinners. So it's like, dang, this is the best place ever. And then he's stuck again. So
don't let him leave. So you have, despite having a tough year with Warzone, generally a lot of people have sort of switched off, gone to different games or whatever, but you have gone to break a few milestones. You broke 700K on Twitch since we last spoke. You broke 500K on YouTube, which is insane. These sort of milestones, are they things that you notice them coming up and you push for it, or you kind of just, when they happen, you're like, oh, that's super cool?
I think, and it'll probably sound so bad, I don't ever stop and just think like, wow, that's super cool. Like, I'm always striving for like the next thing. Like, I'm never satisfied in like the nicest way ever. I'm just never satisfied. Like, there's some people that's like, yo, when I hit this number, I'm good. Or like this number, then I'm gonna go do this, right? I'm like, even if it's like 500, that is an insane number. But I'm like, okay, what's like the next number? Or like, I'm just never satisfied, which is good and bad, because then I'm like always like the next thing, like super stressed all the time. But like, I'm just never content, man. Like, I'm just always grinding. So it's just different. I don't know.
Okay. So what's the plan? What's the goals for next year or the next COD? Do you have anything in mind that you really want to get?
That's a great question. For the next COD, one, just trying to bring the like vibes of COD back. Because I remember in like the Verdansk days, man, everybody was happy. Everybody was vibing. Chat was flowing. The comments were super happy again. And just like now, and again, partially, a lot of that is my fault. Because I have been also like, yo, the game sucks. The game does suck. But does chat and clips and videos, they don't care about hearing me say the game sucks, right? So trying to change my content in general, where like I'm not like, yo, the game's terrible, even if it is bad, being like, yo, Joe, suck it up. Like, even if the game sucks, trying to like just change the vibes of the game in general, I think is like my number one goal.
I think that's hard. That's hard to do. I think it's okay to be honest about it. I mean, you don't want to, like, it's not like you've been complaining or like sooking about it the whole time. It's like, you can point out when things about like, oh, look at this particular thing that happens in the game, that, that's hard, that's bad. That's not really like, oh man, this game sucks, and you're sort of crying about it the whole time. That definitely, I understand, would, get people like a bit rolled up. But I think most people would feel the same sentiments as you. Like, I know there's people that come in and be like, just shut up and play the game, but most people who play would understand. And what about when it comes to competing in tournaments and, all that kind of stuff? Because we did do pretty well this year. We had the big World Series of Warzone come up, and, everyone was major focused on that because that was a LAN event. It was the first time, everyone really got together. That was a huge thing. What was that like, going to London to compete?
I mean, London, y'all's food. I know the food is a little rough, but London overall, though, honestly, so much fun. I'm so excited. But like, for that side of it, though, when it comes to not content, when it's competitive, it's going to be different. If, like the vibes of playing a tournament compared to content are going to be like way different. But playing for that was so much fun because, one, we could see all of our friends in person, which was cool. But honestly, my favorite part of the whole event, and it sounds crazy, is I spent like 2 hours after the event, just outside, like just meeting people like that came there. And that was like my favorite thing, hands down, because again, I get it that some people, how do I say, like, bro, people came to a Warzone tournament. It was like 10 p.m. We spent like 2 hours outside the venue just hanging out and chatting, taking pictures, and like a lot of streamers were like, nah, screw that, I'm going to the club, I'm leaving, but which I get it. But for me, bro, people took time out of their day to watch us play a tournament, to see my streams and clips. And my favorite part of the whole trip was just meeting people outside. They were saying about my food takes, like the OG days, showing me their clips, like, and like that meant so much to me, because then I can put a name to a face from chat, and like that matters more than probably people know, because that like whole vibe, that's just different from like chat. It just, in person, man, just means a lot.
I think especially if you were to put yourself in that situation, be like, yeah, I'm going to go to this event to watch, you know, Call of Duty. It's different, because I feel like that's probably not the best seat in the house to watch if you're interested in the game. Like, the best place will probably be on a stream somewhere, or the cast, or whatever. But you know, you go there because you want to see the people in person, and you want to feel the atmosphere, but also that chance of, you know, like you said, bumping into someone, you know, after the event or before the event. They probably like would have made, you know, the day for, and like that was probably the point of a lot of people going for that. So that's, you know, to be able to get that is insane,
bro. It was like, it was so cool, man, because like there was probably hundreds of people outside the event. They just want to meet people, bro, and like their favorite streamers. So being able to just hang out, even if it was 2 hours out of my night, my voice was gone, I couldn't talk after, dude, who cares, bro? Like, I met so many cool people, took pictures with, like, that means so much to me, because it's just, that's why I do it, right? Like, that's why I do it, of like seeing people that know like the content and stuff, and having them there, it just means, I don't know, bro. It's just different. It's just amazing, bro.
All right. So aside from the competitive stuff, I mean, hopefully more of that comes back as well in the next game, and we get more opportunities to play. But what's some of the lessons that you've learned this year when it comes to the other platforms? Because we know you've expanded. You've done a few YouTube streams. You've done, you know, bouncing between them. Didn't plan on asking you this, but recently it happened that we found out we can now multi-stream on Twitch. So yeah, that's some big news. What's the plans on that kind of thing? What's your take on the whole multi-streaming thing?
It's great. So that's a great question. I'm very excited to try it, but the number one thing again for me is chat and community, right? And I feel like whenever you're live on Twitch and YouTube and TikTok and Kick and all these places at the same time, you kind of lose that, right? And that's something that I don't know if that's a thing that I could sacrifice, right? Because I could be on a PR pace game, my best content game ever, and I'm reading chat while I'm playing, right? Like, chat, because again, it goes for me at least, like, same thing for Discord, and like it goes past the game. Like I love just talking to people, right? And I feel like it's a great idea, right? Because you can then grow your stream and brand on so many other platforms at the same time and stream at the same time. But it's scary, because I feel like you lose just the vibes of chat sometimes, because you can't have a conversation with someone in a Twitch chat and a Kick chat and a YouTube chat, and like at the same time. It's impossible. Yeah. So I'm gonna try it for sure, but I don't know how that'll go kind of chat wise, which again, I'm like so focused on.
Yeah, I think the chat is the main thing, because even some smaller creators that I know that do multi-stream, you know, it's not so much them reading the different chats. They can integrate the chats and see it all in one. That's fine. They can still see all the comments, but it's mainly when they're having replying to a comment that's on another platform, and you as another chatter can't see or don't really know what's going on. You kind of feel like you're out of the conversation. It's not really the same, you know?
100%. And like, for me at least, it seems like a lot of the like larger creators that have that, they don't talk to, or like they will talk to chat, but not to like one person. Like say like, yo, hi blank. They'll say like, yo guys, thoughts on, I don't know, this food place or this game or this. And like chat will kind of flow on their question and not like to one person. So it works, I think, if you have like 10,000 viewers, because it's really hard either way to just talk to one person with 10,000 viewers, right? And for them, it works, but I feel like, again, it just will kind of break that bond with like certain chatters that you talk to every single day.
Yeah, I can say that. I understand what you mean. But my initial thought just then was maybe it could be like a tournament day thing where you multi-stream, because you lock yourself in and maybe not read chat as much. So you know, it doesn't really matter as much, but you know,
It's a great idea.
I don't know, man. It's a tough one, but that recent Twitch announcement that you can now multi-stream sort of came out of nowhere. It was interesting because I was going to ask you about the kick come up and how it's recently sort of really grown up, and what your thoughts are on I know, potentially moving to the platform. It all really depends on the you know, the bag, essentially.
Yeah, 100%. Like, still, I mean, it's either way, it's great, because for any platform, Twitch obviously has screwed people over, screwed me over a lot. Like, and it's like, to have a site that's new, right, and have just competition either way is good for anything, because then if more people move there, I mean, Nick Merckx just moved to Kick. I mean, that is insane. Like, and like, I saw so many people, it's like, dude, selling out for the bag. I would never, like, bro, come, like, you get anybody that would sit there at, like, even if you don't like this, or if most of the time it's just haters in general, like, they could hate him for no reason. So they can't say, like, I hate him for no reason, because then it's like, you're just weird for that. But they could, like, kind of like say, oh, well, I don't like him because he moved to Kick. Well, you're telling me you, at your normal job, would not move to a platform or a different job for $15 million. If you say that, you can literally retire your whole family. Like, you are a liar. Like, you stop lying. And on top of that, anybody that says that will never have that opportunity anyway. So, like, shush. But, like, I saw people hating on that. It's just weird to me. I'm like, why would you even? But, like, that's great. Competition for any platform is great. And either way, I'm excited, like I said, to just try it out. Like, why not? And there's so many I mean, bro, they have a 95-5 sub split. Like, I've been on 50-50 forever. A 95-5. I mean, that is absolutely insane. They're not, and yes, they are owned and backed by Stake, the largest, I'm pretty sure, largest sports, but like, but like, either way, that is something for creators, 95.5, and they're paying people by the hour too, which is crazy. And there's no ads. So on top of that, people that are streaming there, right, their community gets no ads, W, overall. Because I see people tell all the time, Joe, I just got 8 ads. Like, sorry, like, right? But like, there's no ads. And then on top of that, the people that are supporting their favorite creator, it's not 50-50 to the creator and then Twitch. You know that 95-5 split goes to your favorite creator that you're supporting. That's a W, like, overall. So it's just like, either way, it's just great competition for Twitch and YouTube and TikTok in general.
One of the interesting things I think that came out of the Nick Merckx thing was his recent, there was a clip of him going around that he was talking about how he didn't get the sub revenue from Twitch, that he just basically got his monthly whatever payments, which essentially, like, they pretty much added whatever revenue he got from subs and then added more to that. You could look at it whatever way you want, but I think that was kind of weird in the sense that people who were maybe gifting to him thought that he was getting a cut of that, and it really kind of didn't.
Yeah, so when he said that, one, had no idea that that's how that was. I thought that he got like a crazy salary and then a like very good sub split, because there's a lot of people that I know that still have a really good sub split that I never got. Not trying to expose names, but I was trying to get that sub split forever and I didn't ever get it. So, you know, whatever, but that's a whole other story. But that's crazy too, because I heard also that what he was saying too is like, again, like, I saw a lot of kind of angry people, but also I heard that whatever that sub split was, like, he got like a 5x that salary. So like him like signing that deal for Twitch was still like a super, super, super bag either way.
Oh, yeah.
Which like makes sense because he's him, right? But it's like he can't say that obviously because he's signed. And I don't really see it as a problem, but I could see how some people do.
Yeah, I mean, they can look at it like, you know, the sub that they donated went directly to Twitch, but in fact, it would have gone to Nick eventually. Just the way it was worded or whatever. But just for context for some people, I mean, you don't have to talk specific numbers, but even like as a percentage, the sub revenue that, you know, a streamer would get compared to obviously different platforms, it'd be huge going to Kick compared to Twitch. But like compare that to your income, a percentage of your income. How much is that sub revenue? I mean, if you take into account, you know, maybe donations, agreements, you know, sponsorships, and all that kind of stuff.
A ton. And like, I can't say too much about it, but if you think about it, I mean, anybody can literally go back and just do all the math. If you look at a 50-50 sub split back in the Verdansk days, right? And again, and the crazy thing was, I had a lot of like friends of mine that, and I'm not trying to be like, I had more numbers than them, not like that at all, but I had a lot of friends of mine that were getting a really good sub split cut with less viewers and less subs, like a lot less. And if you go back and do a sub split of 50-50, right, compared to 70-30 or higher during the peak days of Verdansk, when it was over a year's time of 16,000 subs, 18,000 subs, 17,000, 10,000, 12,000, like, and you add those numbers up, it is a lot of money. So, and that hurt me. But again, you can't say like, well, I should have gotten this because
that's what we signed up for.
Should have anything, right? Exactly. Yeah. Right. But it's like seeing that, it's like, dude, so then when there's things like a 95 sub split, that is so tempting for me at least, because I'm like, dude, that is a absurd number, knowing that I've been I can't say robbed because it's not
robbed is a
like
wrong
a
term.
Thing that I should have got. But seeing things like that, I'm like, dude, good for Kick, bro. Like, that's absurd. Like, for any content creator, a 95 sub split is crazy. On top of that, for their community, them knowing that their subs are going to the creator is a W.
Yeah. I think, you know, there are people who are harsh on the whole people moving to different platforms just for the money. But I think if you offered anybody almost essentially double their pay to go to a different company, like, you know, you're picking maybe the lesser of two evils if you're talking about the platforms themselves. I mean, you know, you're talking Stake or Amazon essentially. You know, not everyone's a fan of Amazon, so you got to pick your battles. And, you know, maybe if you wanted to say you could make a difference by bringing your community over to a platform that people are saying, well, maybe there's not the best people on there, maybe you could improve it. You know, maybe you could add to the bringing the vibe up on the place.
And on top of that, man, like, it just seems like there's a lot of people that will just hate on something either way, right? They're going to find some way to hate on you, right? So, but the people that are part of your community will follow you either way. It doesn't matter if you're on Kick, YouTube, like, they're going to follow you either way. So if there's any creators that are like, I'm kind of scared to do it, your loyal people, your loyal community, they're going to follow you. The people that are like, oh, wow, I can't go over there because you're getting paid more money from my sub. Like, you're getting more money from my sub now. Like, what? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't know. Like, I see kind of both sides, but also I feel like there's times where just a lot of people love to hate on something. To just be a hater. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, probably the more realistic option, if you had to pick a platform, I would argue might be YouTube, especially yourself, who's, you know, so much more established on there. You've already got the basis from your videos, but now the multi-streaming thing comes into play, so you can pretty much do whatever you want essentially. But
not even just that though, bro. The number one thing that's slept on there is, bro, the quality of a YouTube stream. You can stream at a special encoder that's in OBS at 1440p and 50,000 bitrate. So there's times where you don't even have to send off a gameplay or a clip to get cut up or for you to even cut it up because you can rip it from your VOD on YouTube because the quality is the best quality way past Twitch. Like there's times where I see creators posting a Twitch VOD. I'm like, oh man, that's 1080p, 60, 8K. Like it's bad. And like you can stream on YouTube on a special encoder that you can't have on Kick or Twitch or anywhere else. Special encoder that one makes the quality insane, but at 1440p and at 50k bitrate is absurd.
Yeah, the quality is insane. I mean, I noticed that when I've watched you on YouTube as well, like the noticeable difference in quality. It's crazy how much that really adds to the enjoyment as well. Like watching something.
It's night and day.
It's crisp. It's clean. It looks so good.
There's a lot of people that will have like their stream or like on a TV, right? So if you're on a huge TV, going from a 1080p stream that looks grainy and blurry and choppy to a 1440p stream on a TV, it is night and day. Like, oh, this looks crazy. Like this is so different. And like that stuff also really, really matters a lot. Like quality for a stream is key.
Yeah. I think if YouTube could manage to, incorporate the community feel of Twitch and bring the chat up a bit more and the, discoverability and, sometimes it feels like you're clicking on a video, but you go into a live stream and then sometimes it starts from the start and it's just all over the place a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, that's one thing they need to work on. But what's the lesson that you have learned this year? What's something that you've worked on? What would you say is the one lesson that you've learned above anything else this year?
It's going to sound cheesy.
That's fine.
But that your health is wealth for creators, right? When you're in a good headspace by going outside, going to the gym, doing things that you'd like to do outside of the game, your streams and your vibes on stream are going to be way, way, way better. Your content will be way better. Your ideas for content will be way better. Like having a good headspace is so, so key. Because I say way back, but like there was so many times where even if I didn't want to stream, I'm like, yo, like I streamed 12 hours today, 12 for the last 4 days. Well, I got to sign on again. And it's like, well, is it worth signing on for another 10 hours when like, not that I don't feel like streaming, but like I'm tired or like I don't feel like playing the game. Chat can tell that, right? So having that day off, going outside, going to the gym, just doing other things where then the next day your headspace is going to be feeling so much better and your vibes are going to be up. So then let's say there's some 5 brand new people, right, that come to your stream. If they see you the day before and your vibe is killed, this game's terrible, because you've been playing it for the last 5 days, right, for 12 hours a day, you're going to be like, dude, this game sucks, right? You're like, I hate this game. But let's say you have that day off and there's 5 people that come the next day and you're happy, vibing, smiling, having fun. They're going to stick around. But instead, if you are just in a bad mood, they're going to find somebody else. And it's hard, I promise you, as somebody who is a very happy person, it is very, very hard to be positive every single day, all day. There's not a person on the planet, if there is, find me them, that doesn't have a bad day. Everybody has bad days. So like having just time to just do other things outside of just streaming is so important. And health as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was Z who mentioned in our chat that we had was that it's a lot of people will come in and see you for the first time and you won't even know it. People will watch your video, your latest video, and that'll be their first time watching you. And it's kind of weird to think about when you've been on the platform for so long, but that's a first impression. Your newest video is a first impression for somebody, so you got to be there. You got to be good.
And it's so important too for everything, gaming, work, friends, anything in life. First impression is literally everything. If they see like, oh, he's cocky, he's weird, he's not, like, that is what will stick for them. But if you're vibing and happy and joking around, like, they're gonna like that. Most people will, right? But some people are like, probably like, whoa. But like, first impression is so key. So having those days where you could do nothing. There's days, I'm not even kidding you, where I'm like, yo, I don't want to do a thing today, and I will just chill, hit the gym, and just watch basketball on the couch all day, not do a thing. So it's like, those days matter too, because then that's just a chill, vibey day. And then the next day I'm like, yo, I'm feeling good. Yeah. Because I just chilled, I'm feeling good. And that stuff matters, man. Like it's super key.
That's your reset. The chat that we had last time, you did bring up you kind of didn't feel like yourself for a while, streaming for a long time, and it kind of brings you down. Now that you've had a bit more time, you've gone from like a garage setup to your view now, which is beautiful. You get a lot of sunlight. You feels a bit more normal, and you're going out more. What's that change like feel for you now? Do you notice a difference?
Oh, 100%. Every single day, like it is so important, because now I'm ready for like this new game, new tournament. I'm ready, instead of like, oh no, here we go, another 12-hour stream. Like, oh no, here we go. I'm like, yo, bring it on. Like, what's like the next challenge? Because I feel good. Like, I feel like a clear headspace. I feel a lot better, because way before I was eating, I mean, as I have a sweet tea, but besides the sweet tea, I've been drinking like way more water, like and just feeling better. Like, health as well. Like you'll feel so much better, instead of like just having junk food all the time, no sleep, streaming all day, like staring at a screen with no sunlight. That will catch up. And as somebody who's done it, it will catch up. So it's like, it's just different, because then you can just do other things and you feel better. And then your vibes on stream are better. And it's like, yo, what's the next challenge? Let's do it.
Yeah, man. I agree. And even as part of the community, we can tell, man, you can see that in your face. You're feeling a lot better, and you know, you're a bit more vibrant and happy, and you know, the health is wealth thing. 100%. I 100% agree with you. And look, this part 2 has been very fulfilling for me. I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's been a lot of fun, and you know, hopefully we can do it again one day. We'll see.
Hey, listen, I'm hoping for a part 3 or part 4, obviously, but hopefully a part 3 or part 4 will be maybe, you know, us in person in America or in Australia. You never know. But hear me out. You know what I'm saying? You could come to America, have a little tour, podcast tour. You know what I'm saying?
That would be fire. That would be fire. We'll see, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time, man.
Thank you so much. You're the GOAT, bro. And hey, I'm excited for part 3, part 4, part 5, and we can keep the story going on.
Let's go, man. I love it. Thanks, man. Head to the Patreon now to see some fun rapid-fire questions, as well as Joe's reaction to some of the strangest and weirdest comments across his socials. If not, thank you for joining us on this episode of the podcast. Feel free to go and look at some of the amazing creators that we've had on so far, and subscribe so you can find your way back for more conversations with creators.